So I'm getting that there were so many times in your past where people that you were connecting with, no matter who it is, no matter what type of relationship, you had felt like they had abandoned you. And it doesn't feel needy, it just feels human. It feels like something that's naturally supposed to happen, naturally meant to happen. But character traits have been so distorted that the natural way of nurturing and love has been lost. So even though you're around a world of chaos, you still innately, like it's an innate feeling that you know that things that go down in your life are not supposed to be that way. You already know that. You don't need anybody to tell you. You don't need to go read a book about it. Inherently, you know that many things that go on here in this realm are not right. Especially right now for this message with relationships. So you have felt abandoned many times. But the same ones who did abandon you, once you build up that strength to not really care anymore about the behavior that they exemplify or exemplified, maybe it's past tense, towards you, now they want your attention. And it's just it's funny how life works, because when you want something really, really badly, it doesn't come so easily. And it's because you're telling the universe that you don't have it, basically. So when you yearn for something so bad and you want it, you're telling the universe you don't have it. But then when you grow from the phases of actually being hurt about those who did abandon you, and asking God, why did that have to happen to me? And you get out and past that stage, you overcome that obstacle. So once you overcome that obstacle, you could care less about that. Things that you used to care about, you don't care about anymore, because you know how insignificant it is. And you know how it's like a wasteful, once you heal from something, dependent on what it is, it becomes wasteful thinking when you think about certain things to a certain extent. Like, you know that certain thoughts are not even worth your while to think about, because it's like a dead end. Like when you go down a dead end, you're not going to get anywhere. And many thoughts that you used to think before, they were dead ends, because you wanted something from someone who wasn't willing to be the best version of themselves that you saw them as. Okay. So that's a dead end, because you're wanting something that doesn't exist, because that person doesn't even believe that about themselves. So they definitely are not going to be able to give that to you. That's not going to happen. Once you realize that you were trying to power through a dead end street, the whole experience felt just like nonsense. And that's at that point where you stopped caring, because you know it wasn't worth your thoughts. It wasn't worth your time. It wasn't worth any of your energy, because you have so much importance that is in your life now that you really hold on to and that you work with. So something like that is a distraction, and it's just going to take you into another direction that you don't even belong in. But then it's like right at that time when you feel comfortable and you're doing your own thing, it seems like everyone who was not available when you had a desire to be around these people or person, whoever, then they just pop up. And that's like the universe. It's just funny, because before you wanted it, you didn't get it. Now you don't want it, you don't care, and now you get it. And that shows how powerful detachment is. And that's why I always say, Know what you want, and then let it go. And if it's meant to be yours, it will come to you. You know what you want, so it's almost like a kite that you set free, or like a dove that's set free, or a butterfly that's set free, something that can be set free. And you whisper a wish on it, or you whisper a prayer, a blessing of your future or for your future that you whisper to said thing that you're going to release. And you're going to know that if there is an opportunity for the universe or for God to make sure that you receive, it's really the universe and God, because we all work in tandem with the universe and God. Oh, we're all together now, okay? We always have been, not just now, but I just say that sometimes. So once you whisper to that thing that you want and you let it go, and you just know it's beautiful, just flying away into the ethers, or into the atmosphere, whatever you want to say, and you continue to work on self and do things like step by step, God will know when you're ready for something, because you would have been preparing yourself within the duration of time that you were focusing on building yourself up in self-love and healing and nurturing and knowing how to love oneself. Because you must know how to love oneself before you can love anybody else. If you see someone that you know that they don't love themselves because of how they take care of themselves or how they do not take care of themselves, then you already know that if they can't even take care of themselves, how are they supposed to take care of you? How are they supposed to be there for you? You know that the energy will not be reciprocated. So there's no point, because you'll be the one who's going to end up feeling drained and off balance. So when you detach yourself from things that you may want, they will come to you when you're ready for them, when you least expect it. And I just feel like that's how spirituality works for us. Not against us, it's for us. Guiding us through each phase in each relationship, to tell us when a relationship is not good for us and show us things that we need to see, so that we stop entering into relationships knowing that they're not going to work out, because you already saw something prior to actually making the relationship official, but you may have ignored it, put it to the side. Oh, don't worry about it, it's fine. Maybe I'm overthinking. And you start doing, making excuses for what your eyes and what your emotions have already picked up on that it's like a sensor. It's like we have a sensor. We sense things. When you're around someone's home or around some type of building, but it's usually like a home, and there's sensor lights, and when you walk close enough to it, it turns on. Many of you ignore your sensor. You ignore what you naturally detect, because you don't want that to be true. You don't want anything to stop you from being able to move forward in a direction that makes you feel a sense of comfort, because you feel like something is missing. And usually what's missing is love. Everyone wants love, no matter how much you say, I don't want it, I don't want that, I don't want to talk to somebody, I hate everybody. No matter how much you say that, that's just a response of frustration, because it's likely that in your past things just didn't go right. But that doesn't mean that future relationships will not go well. That doesn't mean that. It just means that there was some healing work that needed to take place, and that you needed to take part in to learn, so that you can see what's not best for you. And that way in the future, you're going to have an improved way of selecting who should be in your life, who should share your life with you. When you become more intentional with the choices that you make when it comes to who you feel should share your life with you, your life becomes much easier. Regardless of if you feel like you want more in life, and that's fine. It's good to want more, because that means that you're not going to stay still. That means that you're always going to be in action, because you're going to be moving towards the successful ventures that you have set as goals in your mind, right? So intentionality when it comes to relationships, no matter who, it doesn't even matter what type of relationship it is, it's good for it to be intentional, because you will align yourself with people that are in alignment with you. And when you're in when you have relationships with individuals that are in alignment with you, there's growth there. No matter if you are someone who is into growth and elevation and enlightenment and innovation. Did I say that already? I may have. I guess it means a lot if I said it twice. It means just a little more, you know. But being around like-minded individuals that are like you, it's just nothing but growth in that space, because all of you are, it's like bouncing off of each other. Like, I heard electrons. It's like it's like electric. It's electrical. When you're around people that you vibe with, it's electric. It's electric. Woogie, woogie, woogie. I saw that on the side of an Amazon truck the other day for the first time. I never saw that before. It was kind of cute, though. You know, make you smile. You know, when you see advertisements like, oh, you know, I think that's a good way to advertise. You know, you make people smile. You know, people want to smile. Everybody walking around sad, man, because this world is crooked and backwards and like trashy because they trashed it. Now we got to clean it up. We got to do it. Like one step at a time. I know the world like that way. Wait, that's a lot. Don't ask me to do that. That's not my job. But in all honesty, didn't God give us dominion over the earth? So guess what? It is our job. Shh. Don't keep on being on hush about it. You have to tell as many people as possible. Okay? Anyway, when you align yourself with the right people, so wonderful. It's just everything feels good. It's just good vibes, and you don't have to worry about ridiculousness that doesn't make any sense, because there's so much of that. And I feel like those who are still dealing with ridiculous people, because you know they're ridiculous. You know they are, because you're like, why am I with this ridiculous person right now? Because they're acting ridiculous, their behavior is ridiculous, and they haven't learned yet, so I cannot be around them. Now, if you know they're ridiculous, like their choices that they make and everything, and you still stick around, now, if anything crazy happens, you really have to be like, you know what? That was me. I should have just left them alone. I shouldn't have gave them another chance because they was wilding out, and I just stayed and I just acted like that wasn't happening when I know it was. So if you have ridiculousness around you, drama-filled individuals that just hunger for strife and dramatic experiences, and not in a good way, you know, I don't know why I just heard cinematography. When I said dramatic, it made me think about like a dramatic scene in a movie, or I don't know, what my mind just went to a place. But anyway, your intentions are also wise. Like they can be viewed as wise when you make good intentions, or when you have good intentions and you move with intentionality in the forefront, because things that you I heard things that are uncompromisable, things that you are not willing to compromise, you will not. You know, like one thing, like I'll give you an example, just a small example for me. If, you know, when it's time for me to be in a relationship with someone, they can't smoke cigarettes because I can't stand a cigarette. They stink. They funky to me. It's a stank stick. It gets in your clothes, it gets in your hair, and it's not good for us. It could off you in a moment, you know? And if you do those things, try your best to stop, because it's not good for you, regardless of how you look at it. You might not want to hear that. You might be like, I love that thing, you better leave me alone. But it's just not good for you. It's not good for you. And it's just another method that has been used as a weapon against us. And you could do it if you put your mind to it. Anything that you truly desire, you could do it if you put your mind to it. Now, many of you might unsubscribe after hearing this because you want to suck on that stick. But it's just not good for you. So I'm telling you because I love you. Just always remember, when I say something like this, it's because I love you. And I know that I'm telling you the right thing because I know that it's a good thing for you. It's going to help you. It's not going to harm you, because that stick is harming you. But intentionality is very, very powerful. And if we start moving from a place of intention, and you understand why you're moving with intentionality, like when you understand that when you have intentions, you have the right tools to shape your world, because the intention is one of the tools that you use to create the world that you see for yourself. And that is very powerful when you really sit and think about it. It's like having a pencil or a paintbrush, and you're about to create a beautiful masterpiece. The intention behind what you're about to do, it says a lot about what you see for yourself. So if your intentions are to be around like-minded individuals that you can grow with and learn from and build with, then you are going to be amongst very healthy relationships, healthy people that have a clear way of thinking. They have clarity in their mind, and always open and willing and ready to share, not having the energy of wanting to gatekeep, because they know that the more people that understand, the better our world will become as a whole. You know? People that have that like gatekeeping, selfish mindset, they think very small, very tiny. And it would be challenging for them to grow. They could grow. Excuse me. They could grow. The heat when it comes on is too hot. If you're choking me. But I need to open a window. So people that like have that selfish gatekeeping mindset, they can grow to a certain extent, but once you get to a certain point within the task or within your project, in order to scale and grow bigger, you need people. You can't do everything by yourself. The one-man band is cool when you are working on yourself and you're going through like just trying to figure out who you are in your solitude and meditation and connecting with God and all that. That's good. One-man band is fine. But when you are trying to just be the one to rake in all of the benefits and you don't want anyone else to have them, that's a big issue. And it really prevents true growth and connection. And I think that's sad when people think that way, because they're missing the point of the power of unity. There's power in unity with large groups of like-minded individuals that believe in the same mission and go for it. It's just very powerful, because you don't have to like keep a person in line, because they'll already want to. It's going to be a natural, innate feeling for them to do what's best. It's going to be like natural. So you don't have to be a babysitter. You don't have to babysit. So that's the type of people you want around you. Like, imagine going out with friends and just wanting to enjoy the evening, and you have a couple of friends that are just loose, just doing things that just don't make sense, and everybody else is chillaxed and cool, and everything's nice, you know, the vibe is right. And then you have two that's just sloppy and all over the place and cursing people out. It's like, all right, who brought this person? Who invited them? It's the same type of energy in life. That's how you have to treat your energy in your life and your people, like the people that you choose to be around you. Because if you know that you're bringing people of chaos into your auric field, then you have to expect that your life is then going to take on traits that their auric field harbors, which is chaos. And that's just something that Spirit wants you to think about it. Just keep it in your mind so that you move more intentionally when it comes to these relationships that you get in. And again, it doesn't matter who it is. If they ain't right, they can't have a spot next to you, because it's going to affect you and your task that you have that are ahead of you. It's going to affect you, and you don't need that. You know, if someone's giving you energy that you don't need, and they can't follow through with anything, and they always have excuses, and instead of asking for help, they complain, and like, it's like, come on, it's like, we're not going to get anything with that behavior, because you begin to feel like you're babysitting. That's what you end up feeling like you're a babysitter. And do you want to be a babysitter, or do you want to have a true partner that you could work with, or a true friend that you can confide in and spend time with, quality time with, like, you know? Or do you want someone that you have to babysit all the time, and you just like them because you think that they're fun to be around, but then the fun turns into chaotic ridiculousness, you know? So when you energetically call in relationships that are aligned with intentionality, you're not going to have to worry about abandonment anymore, because the people that will be magnetized to you will be in your frequency. They'll be aligned to your frequency. And if you know that you would not be one to fall through or allow something to fall through, the individuals that are magnetized to you, or that you magnetize, will also be in that same frequency. So all of those feelings that cause you to feel worried about gaining new relationships in your life, you can let them fall away, because it's all an illusion. Moving with intentionality allows any roadblocks to be removed, basically. Because if someone comes towards you, because sometimes you will have trolls that are magnetized to you as well. But when you have your senses are strong and your sensors are working properly, you'll see things that aren't right, and you'll know, oh no, I can't have them in my circle, because they have these characteristics or character traits about them that don't align with me. And I know that if I continue on this road with this person, there's going to be problems. You know, you can see somebody's energy and see, you know, what a problem is at. Especially if they're like messy, rowdy, chaotic. They like to gossip. They just in too many mixes that it's not best for people to mix in, and they're in all the mix. And then they try to drag you into the mix, you know? So as long as your sensors are working and you take heed to your sensors, you can't go wrong. You just can't. Okay? All right? You got it? All right, my loves. I think that's it for that message. Everything you do, do it with love. Always remember the creator is in you, and the magic is too, because you're magic. Much love to you. See you in the next video.